If you'd like to work along with me at home, open the Project Files folder, Lesson 8 folder, and Split Windows. Here we're going to work with a really tall worksheet. How tall is it? Well, if we scroll down towards the bottom, we'll find that eventually we get down to row 1128. And then way down here at the bottom, we have this little range of cells that summarizes the quantity, revenue, cost of goods sold, and profit for the details above it. Let's hit Control Home to get back to cell A1. And now we're going to scroll over to the right, where we're going to find that there's also some summaries going on over there. Here we'll see summaries for the same data. Control Home to get back to cell A1 again. So if I want to edit the details here, maybe change the quantity to something else, I'd like to see the effect that that has on my summaries. The problem is that if I change this to 1,000, then I have to scroll over to the right to be able to see how it changed that value right there. Or I have to go clear to the bottom of the worksheet to see it down there. By the way, Control End would take me to the bottom of the active area. Then I'll have to just scroll over a little bit. So this is the change reflected right here, but that is really inconvenient, having to scroll around to see how my changes affect my summaries. Control Home to get back to cell A1. Excel has a solution for this. It allows us to split our worksheet into multiple window panes. We can work in each of the windows independently and be able to see the result of what we're doing in one of the other windows. I know, it sounds confusing, doesn't it? But it's actually pretty easy. Let's go to the View tab and then click Split in the window group. Excel splits the window into 4 separate window panes. Now, to make this easier to understand, we're going to get rid of the vertical window pane right here. All we have to do is move your mouse over it and double click on it to get rid of it. Now let's examine what we have here. We see the detail header, row 1, here in the top pane, and if we go down to the bottom pane and click in there, you'll see it has its own independent scroll bar over here on the right. We'll just scroll up a little bit, and what do you know? There's that same detail header. In fact, it's the very same one. If we click in cell A1 and type something else, you can see the change immediately in the bottom window pane. Why is that? Well, it's because it's actually the same data. It's 2 different views into the same room, basically. Imagine standing outside of a house, looking through a window and watching the events taking place in a room in the house. Then you walk around the corner and you look in another window and it's the same room. You get a different perspective on what's going on in that room depending on which window you look through. But it's all the same events in that room. And that's exactly what's going on here. We have 2 different windows into the same data. Now, the beauty of this is that we can take this bottom window pane and scroll clear to the bottom without affecting the top window pane. We get down here to the summary, and now we can watch our summary and mess around with the data in the top window pane all at the same time. So keep your eye now here on the quantity in E3. I'm going to change this, and it's immediately going to be reflected down here in the summary part of the worksheet. So let me put in some astronomical number here like 5,000,000. And look at that. We can easily see how the change affects our summary without having to scroll to the bottom or to the right of the worksheet. Okay, now we're ready to take a look at that vertical splitter. We can bring that back by going to the bottom right-hand corner of the worksheet and grabbing the splitter bar and just dragging that out into the center. You can move these around, of course, just by dragging them. Just put that pretty much in the middle. And now we're going to take advantage of this top right window pane. It has its own scroll box down here at the bottom, and we're just going to scroll over to the right where we know we have that other summary up there in cell R1. Now we're going to go back over here and just move the window to the right a little bit, and we'll reset the quantity now to 1. Keep your eye on the quantity summary on the right-hand side. Here's 1, enter. We'll see the same value reflected down here. We've already seen that you can turn the splitter bars off by double-clicking on them, but you can also do the same thing right here from the split button. We've seen that you can turn the split on by using the split button, and I also pointed out that you can use the splitter from the bottom right-hand corner to split vertically. But there's also one here at the top, so if you don't want to use the split button here in the window group, you can just grab that splitter and just pull it straight down, and grab this one and pull it to the right, and you can just split to your heart's content.